1 of the All the Books Show, the official podcast of the David A. Howe Public Library. I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning. Hey, Eric, I want to congratulate you on that Best Use of Social Media award that you recently won at the STLS annual meeting.
Well, hold on, Nick.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate you on winning the Best Use of
gosh.
Social Media award at the STLS, whatever it was called.
Perfect. Really good.
All right.
Yeah. That
Look
was
at
fun,
this.
though. We got a nice
Yeah.
plaque.
Look at this plaque.
Maybe you saw it on Twitter. I want to mention that Eric and our children's librarian, Katura, also won scholarships to NYLA through STLS.
Yeah. If you're going to NYLA, maybe we'll see you. Yeah.
Meet up. Yeah. So Eric will have his post-NYLA chat with us
Yeah.
after that. So that was fun. The annual meeting was fun. We got a nice intro from one of our board members, Ed Picaric.
Sure did.
Seems to be a real fan of
Nicest
all the
thing
books.
that's ever been said about you.
Me.
Yeah.
How about me?
A lot of lies, of course, for it to work.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely. So, what's new?
you just move your microphone right while we're recording like that?
Well, it was far away.
Boy, maybe we're going to have to return this award.
First of all, you're the one who didn't do a sound check, so you
Oh,
can't.
shoot, I
you
didn't.
can't blame me.
Oh, my gosh. I just went right to go.
I know you did.
Looks like everything's recording.
Oh,
good.
that's great.
Good.
That's good.
Okay.
Well, maybe we're picking up some new listeners because we talked a lot about it at this annual meeting. So,
Sure.
STLS fellow librarians, if you're
yeah.
tuning in for the first time, we're glad to have you.
Yeah, we better mention what this podcast does. We
That's
talk
true.
about book news,
Yeah.
author news, and literary news.
Yeah, we do a different spotlight each
Yeah.
week. Sometimes we talk about a specific
It was
author
a pretty
or
big literary event
Yeah.
this week. We almost had to do an emergency recording.
It's true.
Because I felt like it was...
we thought about it. Yeah,
Yeah, but
We're
we
gonna
didn't.
be, we're gonna be talking about the Nobel Prize in Literature, specifically this year's candidate, but also just
Winner.
a little. Yeah, that's right. Also, just an overview of the Nobel Prize and past recipients as well.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that a little later. First stop, though, is bookmark. So, Eric, where's your bookmark, my friend? I should also mention that Eric and I have molasses cookies from the Texas Hot that we will be eating and enjoying during this
so
podcast.
Good. Can we
So,
get some cider?
thank you to our friends at
It's the
Texas
most
Hot.
autumn recording we've ever done.
True.
And maybe even more so than when I came up with my book idea, First Days of Autumn.
Oh, so great. So great.
One more shout out before we start, because this
Okay.
affects my bookmark.
Sure it
I didn't
does.
read this much this weekend because I was traveling.
Ah.
My cousin Brianna went off and got married.
Brianna, one of our regular listeners,
Yep.
as I recall.
Well, congratulations, Brianna and Matt, listeners of the All the Book Show podcast.
That's right. Eric
So-
was there, so
I
he got
was
to
there.
offer
I
his
saw the whole
congratulations
thing,
in
yes.
person. But Brianna, Matt, we don't know each other, but I feel we'd be close. So I want to,
Okay.
I want to wish you well on your nuptials.
You know what my cousin said?
What?
She read Superman Secret Identity after I talked about it on the podcast.
Oh my gosh!
So
Wow.
you won't ever read that.
No.
My cousin's a better friend than you'll ever be.
Well, she's family. How could I compete with that?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll never be family.
That's
unless
right.
I have a kid, and then your kid, and they get married.
And then they get married.
And then we're still not going to be friends.
Yeah. Well, we both have unmarried siblings as well.
Oh my gosh.
So there's
Yeah.
a lot of possibilities.
Okay.
Never say never. Is all
right.
I'm going to say.
Again. Never
Yeah.
say never again.
That's right. So, as we mentioned this week, we're talking Nobel Prize. Next week, we're going to be talking all things Halloween. Halloween movies, Halloween books, and we're going to have as a special guest the Queen of Halloween, Ms. Sally Murphy. So send us your thoughts on that. But right now, get back to it.
All right, bookmark. So I did finish a book.
Okay.
I finished Frankenstein, Prodigal Son by Dean Koontz.
Dean Koontz.
So,
And? Just give me a little taste. Don't tell me too much.
Okay. When it ended,
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
Oh.
Because I thought there was still more book to go.
Oh. Well, it is a series.
It is a series, but like I'm reading it and I'm like, okay, some of these things are going to get resolved very soon.
Okay.
Because there were more pages. But then I realized it was just a chapter of like the next book. And it just ended. I was like, oh, it's over. So I gave it 3 stars because I felt the ending was very unsatisfying.
Oh. So it's said you can't, like, you have to read more, basically? Is that? Okay.
Yeah, nothing's
Oh,
resolved.
that is frustrating.
Not
I
a
like
thing.
it. I like it when series, like, even though there's more to it, I like when they can sort of be seen as just one thing.
I wish the Frankenstein monster from the original Frankenstein story, had more screen time.
Oh, okay.
Page time.
Yeah, that makes more
Is
sense.
that what we call it?
Yeah,
Okay.
page time.
And sometimes it was a little too gross for me.
Gross.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But I still kept reading it.
Yeah.
It was hard to put down, even though it took a while to finish.
Would you have read it if not for the book club?
Yes,
Okay.
I would have read it.
That's
anyway.
decent.
And I might still read this. I'm probably still going to read the next ones. Mm-hmm. You know, save them for Halloween, but still go on with that series.
Okay.
I also read The Crossover by Kwame Alexander. This was for a children's book club I was doing for 8th grade. It's a story about a twin brother just growing up. He's super into basketball. His dad is a retired basketball player. Just about him and his twin brother growing apart. his dad suffering from some illness, and so it's like a slice of life. But the whole thing is told through in verse.
Okay.
But like, sometimes it's rhyming verse. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's the kind of verse where like the style on the page is more important. A lot of times it's him using that verse to taunt the other basketball players. So it's actually really good. I'd suggest it to anybody in the 8th grade range.
And did the kids like it?
Yeah, all the kids loved it.
Yeah.
All the kids loved it, and a lot of them played basketball and said that it did a good job of describing basketball life.
I'd have to take their word on it.
Yeah, that too. I had to ask him, like, so is this true? Is that what it's like to be an athlete?
I don't like to brag, but I did play some mean b-ball. Is that what the kids say? Okay.
Yeah, they say b-ball.
They say b-ball in fifth grade.
Okay.
Yeah. So
great.
Yep.
And I didn't finish it because of all the traveling. Batman / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 1.
Oh my gosh, A Marriage Made in Heaven.
Oh my goodness.
Much like your cousin. So Matt and Brianna. we already did that. We already did that.
The page I left off on was Shredder climbing into a helicopter, and the person flying the helicopter and saying, "Perhaps we can form a partnership," was Ra's al Ghul.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm pretty excited.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It's the Turtles have come into
the
DC universe. So the Turtles beat up Killer Croc. So that was fun.
I thought maybe they'd find common ground.
Yeah. Well, Croc's a killer.
Oh yeah, that's true. He's right in the name.
Yeah.
And they're teenagers.
So
he's a full-grown adult manslaughtering Croc.
But it's nice because in this comic, they have their traditional colors for their mask, whereas in the other series, they're all red. Is that right?
They are. Boy, we're getting nerdy now, but the original Kevin Laird comic books, they're all wearing
from
red.
the 80s. Yeah,
so
it's all red.
And even the new series, which is one of our most popular graphic novels in our collection, let me tell you.
But it's just
they're all red, so like you never know.
It seems really stubborn.
It does.
Just color code them.
It's moved past it.
We don't care.
Right.
I appreciate that. So, and it's funny. It's all really good. Michelangelo had us put a chart together to figure out if Batman was awesome or not awesome because they got beat up by Batman. So on the not awesome side was a scary voice, but on the awesome side was his costume.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I think one of them also was that he beat up Raph, which was on the not awesome side.
Oh yeah, that would be.
So
that would
anyway,
be awesome.
That's what I've read. I'm gonna start now that I finished Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read Pet Sematary.
Oh,
by Stephen King.
We can talk about that.
Hey, can we talk about how Pet Sematary is spelt differently than cemetery?
Yeah.
And when you try to spell it or look it up, you always end up typing in the wrong thing.
Sure. Let's talk
annoying.
about it. Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. It was misleading the way you said it. It really seemed like, but no, that's all right.
Segue into you finishing 11/22/63.
I finished 11/22/63, the TV series, also by Stephen King, which actually has quite a few nods to Stephen King books.
Show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't catch all of them, but
All
they
right.
talked a little bit about it in the special features. But at one point, one of the villainous characters is driving Christine, based on the Christine is the evil car, and it's actually the one they used in the movie.
That's hilarious.
They're using in this as well. They're running up the stairs, and it says Red Rum at some point.
I did see that.
You did see it?
I remember
Okay.
that, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of little tiny things. They took out some. In the book, they meet the kids from It.
Yeah.
Which I guess, like, legally they were allowed to do, but they decided it would just be confusing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about it for a minute, because you've seen the series. I read the book when it first came out, and I've seen the series. And when we talked about it early on and I'd seen the pilot, I said, I bet it's going to stick pretty close to it.
Right.
I don't really think it did.
No?
First of all, his friend Bill is like nothing in the book.
Really?
He's not a part of anything.
Bill's super important in the show.
I know. He's like a primary character,
Yeah.
and he isn't. I mean, he's just sort of just a quick, just kind of causes a problem for a minute. It never becomes what it is. So that was a change. That was kind of jarring. And you don't really like his life in Jody, like when he's teaching the kids there and everything. That's all super important in the book. And it's like nothing.
Yeah,
and he also has a couple of like false starts. You know, he'll screw up and he'll go back and he'll reset it. He'll screw up, he'll go back.
Yeah, because in the show, as soon as he goes in, he's there for the next 8 years, I think.
Yeah. No, well, it's 3.
3 years.
3
okay,
years.
but he's
in the
there.
book it's 5 years, but yeah.
He's there for the whole time.
Yeah.
So
I think he shows up in 58.
All right.
In the book, but he has one. The janitor who has his father attacks the family. He goes and prevents that and goes back. And then goes back again. There's a way more of like these false starts. So I thought it was good, but it really diverged a lot more than I expected.
Would you
most
say,
notably with Bill?
Would you say James Franco went all in?
Yes.
Because
he's known for
all the commercials before it came out on Hulu. All the commercials read, James Franco goes all in. And the whole time we were watching it, I was just like, this is him all in right now.
He's all in.
He couldn't help it.
He's all in.
That guy, what's his name? Josh Duhamel?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
Yeah.
Who sometimes plays love interest in Nicholas Sparks films.
Yeah.
He's pretty scary.
He was.
So that was
I didn't see him in that role at all. And then the man who played T.R. Knight, who plays Sadie's husband, is from Grey's Anatomy and plays like the nicest, sweetest character on the first few seasons of Grey's Anatomy.
Weird career-changing roles.
Yeah, well, he was a gross character. So anyway, if you haven't read the book, it's a long, long book. So be forewarned. But I think it's worth it. It moves really quickly.
Would you tell somebody who's watched the show first to read the book?
Well, I mean,
being one.
You know the resolution. So without that, it might be hard to make yourself get through that many pages.
Is the ending the same? I mean, don't say what the ending is, but is it the same? Like the decisions made at the very end and everything?
I think it's pretty similar. There's not a lot of changes.
Is the book a love story? Because the show definitely plays up the love story.
It is, and I think that it's a lot more. You become way more invested in his life in the 60s in the book.
Okay.
And one of the things, like, my wife hadn't read the book, and she at one point was sort of like, I feel like they're overestimating how into this relationship we are. And I think, like, for me, like, I knew the book, so I knew their whole relationship. But for her, it was sort of like, I think she was more interested in finding out what was going to happen with JFK than
I was
the
surprisingly into the relationship. I didn't think it would happen.
Yeah.
But here I was. I'm like, come on, James Franco.
They mentioned Of Mice and Men, but the whole, Jake directs a production of Mice and Men.
Oh, really?
In the book. And it's a really, it sort of stops being about JFK for hundreds of pages, and you just kind of get invested in his life.
Man, I'd get lost.
You lose that.
I'm easily distracted.
A good element. I thought it was really well casted, like Oswald and Marina Oswald. I thought were really good.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was an impressive miniseries. I like the miniseries and I like the book.
Okay.
So
there we go.
I would recommend either, really.
All right.
But on to what I've actually read.
All right.
Well, last week I was reading, and remember, hear the word that I'm saying and understand that it's not what you think it's going to be. But I've been reading The Racketeer by John Grisham.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
And you know what that's about.
Yeah.
Let's both say it on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
A guy with a jetpack.
Money laundering. No, I told you it's not that.
Weird.
It's about a guy who gets arrested for
jetpacking?
money laundering. Forget it.
Okay.
But anyway, I took a break from that temporarily. I set that aside.
Sure.
And I picked up Company of Cheerful Ladies by Alexander McCall Smith.
This is the latest?
No, it's about a man with a rocket pack
who
fights Timothy Dalton. So,
okay.
Sorry, that's the movie The Rocketeer.
Okay.
No, this is book 6.
By Grisham.
This is book 6 in the Alexander McCall Smith #1 Ladies Detective Agency series. Very unlike me to read.
Book 6?
Book 6.
Okay, that's a weird number for you to pick.
I know. Well, I found it at the Fillmore book sale. And so I was like, I'll just read it. And I liked it so much more than I liked the first book.
Do you know why?
Well, I think the first book suffers a little bit because he's setting up the whole, she inherits the money. She goes and she wants to start a detective agency. She has to hire a receptionist. It's a lot of, setting that all up. This book, everything was in place, and you don't really need tons of backstory. You can just kind of go in and roll with it.
Okay.
So I thought it was much more compelling. I also felt like the characters they felt younger. They felt more vibrant than they did in the first book. I pictured them all as much older and much stodgier in book 1, whereas this it felt more dynamic. So I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay.
And had I not read it, I never would have picked the series up again. But when I finished it, I kind of was like, I would have kept reading. So I think I'm gonna try to read Precious and Grace before he gets here.
Okay.
On Thursday.
Yeah.
See if I can
just
get
a few
through
more
that.
days.
I know, that's right. Well, I guess we could mention at this point, Alexander McCall Smith, if you've been living under a rock or have never listened to this podcast before or seen this library or any newspapers, Alexander McCall Smith is coming here on October 20th, which is Thursday, 7 o'clock for a free talk, followed by a ticketed reception, $35. Includes hors d'oeuvres, live music, a cash bar, and a book signing.
Bringing the Scottish Thunder.
Yeah.
That's the name of the tour.
Bringing the Scottish Thunder. Yeah. He's got a big tour bus that has that printed on the side. So.
Yeah.
But we're so thrilled. We're so grateful that Houghton College and their friends have partnered with us on this. Thankful to Penguin Random House for including us on this tour, which is, we are an atypical stop, let me tell you.
Thankful to Penguins for giving us the films Happy Feet and Surf's Up.
Yeah. Yeah, and March of the Penguins.
March of the Penguins.
Farce of the Penguins.
That was a date movie for me.
March of the Penguins. You went on a date.
Yeah.
With your current wife?
No.
Previous wife.
Yeah, my previous wife.
Former wife.
No.
Okay.
Because it was a romantic film.
Yeah.
Because the penguins are an animal love.
I'm sure she and you will be thrilled that you brought up a date with an ex-girlfriend on the podcast.
Yeah. Boy, I wish I edited these.
We'll fix this in editing. Yeah, we'll cut that right out.
I should have said it was a terrible date.
That's true.
Because it was.
Oh, it was.
It was a horrible date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something?
I don't want to say anything else anymore.
Okay.
This is
All
the
right.
worst.
We'll move on.
I don't know what I've
that's
done.
Great. Anyway, so I finished Company of Cheerful Ladies. Very good. I would recommend that.
You've never been in a company of cheerful ladies.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Sure.
Sometimes there'll be like a group of cheerful ladies, and you'll get in there, and they're like, "Oh boy,
and
today was going great."
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And now Nick Gunning.
Let's see. Graphics. I read a few graphic novels. I read Vader Down. Big crossover.
That's the Star Wars
Marvel
Vader
Star
Down,
Wars, yeah. Popular. Would you say they're Star Wars books? I think
out of all the Star Wars books of the new like Marvel series,
Yeah.
it seems to be doing the best.
Vader Down, most
So,
popular.
yeah.
Yes, that was cool. So we've got that in the graphic novel collection. I also read this one we don't have, Amazing Spider-Man Worldwide.
Yeah,
New take on the character.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my Goodreads review,
Yeah.
but it was...
it's weird.
Spider-Man is like a millionaire and beloved and super popular. And I don't know, it just didn't work for me.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I have to finish the stuff before Secret Wars.
Okay.
And then
there were a few things that I was like, what?
yeah.
So
I'm at Spider-Verse. I finished Spider-Verse, so.
Oh, we got to get more Spider-Gwen. We have the first volume of Spider-Gwen.
2 more
that was
volumes we
pretty
need to get.
popular,
Yeah.
so. Currently, I've gone back to The Racketeer. So I'm reading that. Yeah.
After Joe Johnson directed that,
Wait,
I mean, that's a big reason why he directed the first Captain America
made
movie.
Into a movie.
Joe Johnson didn't direct Captain America. Check
that's real.
IMDb.
No, but Pelican Brief has been made into a movie.
Right.
Runaway Jury. The Firm.
Okay.
Lots of those, but no, there's no Racketeer movie.
Then you better tell Billy Campbell. You better let Alan Arkin know that he didn't work in the 90s on a film.
Okay, you're thinking of the early 90s Disney film, The Racketeer, with Billy Campbell. Timothy Dalton.
That's exactly what I've been
Jennifer
saying.
Connelly.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going crazy with you sometimes.
I can't go down this road.
Okay.
I'm currently reading Gotham Underground as for the graphic novel.
Okay.
So, pretty good stuff.
Wait, I read that. That's an older one. The whale's in there, right?
This is a Catwoman. This is Catwoman.
Oh,
Gotham
never
Underground.
mind.
No.
Nothing.
Good.
Never mind. I don't want to talk about it
Right
anymore.
now.
Okay.
I've got next on my list, like I said, I'm going to try to tackle Precious and Grace before Thursday.
Yeah.
And then I've got to move on Frankenstein now.
Yeah, because it's for the book club.
Coming up for the book
what else
club.
do you have to read for a book club?
Page Turner's book club's currently reading Frankenstein by Dean Koontz. After this, I shouldn't have said that because I don't have it on the tip of my tongue. I don't know what we're reading next.
Tip of the tongue tames
Yeah.
the lips.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So we're currently reading Frankenstein for Page Turners, and for contemporary classics, we're finishing up Alexander McCall Smith's Emma.
All right, Emma,
Probably by
yes.
the time you hear this, it'll be too late to
Yeah.
join the book club. So next we're reading Patchwork Planet by Ann Tyler.
Okay.
So you can check that out. Then that book club takes a pause during the Christmas months. We don't meet. So anyway, that's it for me.
Okay.
Shall we talk about book news?
Yeah, first I want to talk about this piece of news that I just found out about. Apparently, there is a comedy wildlife photography award, and they've gotten their best photographs right now, and they're choosing from the winners of the ones they have. Because you asked me what I was laughing at before we were recording this podcast.
Oh, I was. It wasn't
So
serious. I was just making.
it's called this website's called birdandflight.com. So you should go there because some of these pictures are really funny. Hold on.
Funny.
Can you?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Birdandflight.com.
Look at this frog. Look how happy he is. That's great. So I was just sitting there laughing hysterically. So, see, Nick just laughed.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
This is a weird shout out you're doing, but
I'm sorry, I just found it.
I think me and listeners of all the books.
Look at this fox.
That's
This
hilarious.
has, it's so funny.
We
All
appreciate
right.
the weird shout out. So
Okay,
Thank you.
sure.
Hey, speaking of trends in the world,
Yes.
when we aren't, and I need a segue, I just say speaking of.
Okay.
Speaking of trends in the world, I know I don't know if we've talked about this, but the Divergent series not gonna finish.
No,
in
getting
the
a
big
show.
screen. It's going to like a TV show. 'cause
Right.
The movies have
We did
flopped
bring that
so
up,
much.
yeah.
Okay. So we were thinking, Eric and I were thinking that maybe this would stop this trend of splitting movies.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up.
Unnecessarily.
Thank
But-
you very much.
But the
Remember-
J.K. Rowling helmed Fantastic Beasts.
Now,
Based on a
Fantastic
little thin
Beasts,
children's
right?
book.
It's maybe 100 pages.
Yeah.
It's like a textbook of just
not
like
even
these
a
are some
book, yeah.
animals. This is where to find them.
Was going to be a trilogy, but they've just announced that too much information.
Yeah.
And they're splitting it into how many, Eric?
5 movies.
5 movies.
Remember when we
Oh
got
my
mad that they
gosh.
turned the 300-page Hobbit
Yeah.
into 3 films?
Yeah.
I don't see anyone getting
This is
upset
this is
about the 5 movies.
5 movies based on a pamphlet.
This is my problem with Harry Potter fans.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh boy.
Tolkien fans.
Don't start it
No,
that
well,
way.
Tolkien fans thought it was stupid to make 3 Hobbit films.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that it was stupid to make 3 Hobbit films.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen anyone complain about this 5-film Beast thing.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they're done with these, this is what I think they're doing. I think Warner Brothers just did the math in their head. When you're done with these 5 films, at that point, the original Harry Potter cast will be old enough to do the film version of The Cursed Child.
Oh, man. I gotta tell you, I would watch that movie.
The Cursed Child?
I'm not that interested in Fantastic Beasts, but I would watch Cursed
How
Child.
old do you think? How old is Harry Potter in Cursed Child?
I mean, the kid's like 12, so he's not. He's probably about their age now, honestly. Probably mid-30s, I would say.
All right. Well, I'm sure as soon as that's done, they're like, now we're doing the Cursed Child trilogy.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because J.K. Rowling is always like, oh, I'm done with the Harry Potter world. I'm not going to do anything more. Then, like, every day on Twitter, she's like, Dumbledore used Pepsodent toothpaste. And, like, Entertainment Weekly.
Did you know Snape was a Pepsi man?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what it is now. 5 movies. Eddie Redmayne's like, what did I sign up for?
No kidding. How will I film my Oscar bait every year?
Seriously. Now that sequel to The Danish Girl's permanently on hold.
I think so, That and The Imitation Game.
Yeah.
Not The Imitation Game. That was Cumberbatch. What was the one I was thinking of?
Oh,
Theory of
Theory of
Everything.
Everything,
Yeah, where they both played flawed geniuses with painful lives.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, we were hoping the Divergent thing would end this splitting of movies, but no.
What if
It'll
the
go on
first
forever.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them bombs, and so they have to do the next 4 movies on TV?
Well, first of all, it will not bomb
I know it
because
won't.
there's legions
I know.
of fans.
Legions is a good word for it. All right.
Thank you. Well, this concludes our... there's one more page-to-screen adaptation that I should mention, speaking of McCall Smith. My wife and I watched the pilot movie for the HBO series, Number One Ladies Detective Agency. So good.
Okay.
I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Right.
Well
it's not
done.
really news about page to screen.
We have that in our collection, too.
That's
so you
true.
can check
All
that
right.
out. No, it's not news. It's just
Shout out.
irrelevant.
It's a shout out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk about what we have coming down the road here. Eric and I like to fill you in on things that are coming a long way away, several months.
Yeah, that's next
and
job.
What's coming this week?
Yeah.
So let me give you
Your own worst enemy. That's what's coming down this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's you. You're your own worst
Oh, I thought
enemy.
you meant the failed Christian Slater show from several years ago.
No, I didn't know there was
One of many failed Christian Slater.
assume so.
Every season he's got a one-season
Yeah.
show. Boy.
Yeah.
Poor.
because he just looks like a jerk. You
Christian
look at
Slater
Christian
looks like a
Slater and
jerk.
you're like, I don't want to talk
like-
to this guy.
You know what Christian Slater movie I like, which is also somewhat related to Bob Dylan?
Heathers?
Hard Rain.
Oh.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Anyway, Take Back the Sky from our old friend Greg Bear. Now, I recently
Why'd you
read-
say it? Oh, are you friends with Greg Bear?
No, but I recently read a Star Trek book by Greg Bear.
Oh.
And it was like, you could tell, it was really early in his career, and he was like desperate to write a regular sci-fi novel,
Huh.
and did it like using Star Trek. Didn't
Right.
work at all.
Huh.
But if you're a Greg Bear fan, coming out December 20th, so perfect Christmas present for all the Greg Bear fans in your lives.
Yeah.
Book 3 in the War Dogs trilogy, Take Back the Sky.
Take back the skies.
Yeah, the conclusion to an epic interstellar trilogy of war from a master of science fiction. Marooned beneath the icy, waxy crust of Saturn's moon Titan, Skyreen, probably like a Sky Marine.
Yeah.
Skyreen, Michael Venn, and his comrades
That's
face
silly.
double danger from Earth and from the antagonists. Are the bad guys called the antagonists?
Yes.
Why would anyone choose that name for themselves?
Maybe they know they're bad.
It's ridiculous.
It's kind of like how in the early 60s, Magneto formed the Brotherhood of Evil
Yeah,
Mutants.
why would you
Right,
do that?
sure.
Crazy.
Yeah. Or
Anyway.
how Zemo formed the Avengers villain team,
I just think-
Masters of Evil.
I think you forfeit any hope for a peaceful resolution.
Yeah.
I mean, the other guys are going to be like, no. Let's sit down and hear out what these antagonists have to say. It's just not going to
Yeah.
happen. Anyway, oh boy. Michael Venn and his comrades face
Oh,
double
boy.
danger from Earth and from the antagonists. Both.
You can't.
I
Maybe
knew
you
it
should
was-
stop.
I knew it was coming. Both intent on wiping out their growing awareness of what the helpful alien gurus are really doing in our solar system.
Yeah.
I was interested for a minute
Yeah.
when they were stranded on Saturn's
Greeting.
moon. But
We are the antagonists. Oh, okay.
man, Matt Damon's going to be in this movie, right?
Yeah, he is.
He's trapped on Saturn. Ooh, boy.
As soon as he finishes getting over the debacle, that will be the Great Wall.
I don't have much to tell you on this next one. There's very little information that's come out.
Great.
But I know this. On December 6th, the next Jack Ryan universe book. Okay,
Okay.
so maybe, I don't know if it's going to be Jack Ryan Jr., or just set in that world.
Okay.
But it is the 22nd book in just the Jack Ryan world. It's
Okay.
coming out by Mark Greaney. called True Faith and Allegiance. Coming out December 6th. More information will come down the road. Right now, all I can tell you is the title and the date. Webb Griffin and...
Super informative there, Nick.
Hey, you blame the publisher. Webb Griffin and William E. Butterworth IV. William E. Butterworth IV.
Butterworth.
He sounds like a villainous Southern lawyer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Mr. Butterworth, what say you? I object on the grounds of that's unconstitutional, Your Honor. Dabbing his mouth.
Yeah.
I would like a mint julep in your chambers. I'll allow it. Your Honor.
Lordy, it is hot.
Yeah. Anyway, all of that's irrelevant to the...
I'll hold this heat in contempt.
Sustained.
Man, okay. Let's
just
pause the
let's
podcast
just scrap
and
this
just
show and just see where this takes
Yeah.
us. Curtain of Death by Webb Griffin.
Ooh.
Et al. From #1 New York Times bestselling author Webb Griffin comes a dramatic third novel in the clandestine operations series about the Cold War, the fledgling Central Intelligence Agency, and a new breed of warrior. So this is set in the 40s.
Okay.
So I have never read a Webb Griffin
Me either.
book. I should put him on the book club sometime because we try to hit all these classic authors, but
Yeah.
I haven't done this one yet. So, Webb Griffin fans, you can keep an eye out for this. December 27th. So, too late for Christmas, in time for Hanukkah. So, depending on your background, this could still work as a holiday gift. Jack Higgins. Have you read Jack Higgins? You know Jack Higgins? Familiar with Jack Higgins?
No.
You like Jack Higgins? Okay.
Stop asking me about Jack Higgins.
Sorry. Okay. So but did you answer?
I'm a big fan of Jack Higgins.
You like Jack Higgins.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jack Higgins fans, including Eric, will know that
Yep.
this is book 22 in the long-running Sean Dillon series, The Midnight Bell, coming to you December 27th. So again, too late for Christmas. Perfect for New Year's. The bell tolls at midnight as death requires it. Interesting.
Or just because that's what clocks do.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen.
It's midnight.
It's going to happen.
Also, murder.
Right. In Washington, D.C., on a night full of rain, a woman is struck down and killed by a hit-and-run driver. But she's not just any woman. She is the assistant to the head of the secret White House department known only as the basement. And she had secrets of her own.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Jack Higgins fans, keep an eye
I just
out for
found out that the White House
year.
has a basement.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
A bunker.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
Oh.
So here's an interesting, and when I say interesting, I'm using the term very loosely, because I'm discussing a new bookshot by James Patterson.
No. Man, we went to a Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
And they just had stacks of bookshots.
I know.
It did not look like they were
I know.
selling. It
I'm
was
curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how this is doing,
Yeah.
because I'll tell you, they are popular with our crowd.
Yeah.
When we get them and we put them out there, they do check out.
But as I pointed out, as I said, I think maybe like bookstores are not the place bookshots are going to succeed.
Yeah.
It's places that people traveling are going to grab them from.
Well, I could see I could see myself knee jerk buying one like in a checkout line.
Yeah.
Do I want Reader's Digest?
Yeah.
Betty and Veronica Halloween Spectacular.
Bookshot.
Or the James Patterson bookshot.
What about like a Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
You're welcome, James
Oh,
Patterson.
my gosh. Well, we know he listens. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah, we
obviously-
do. He has to.
He's gonna
We
take
talk about
that
him all the
idea.
time.
If you want to send us a cut of that money, Jimmy P,
Yeah.
he's very generous with libraries and independent bookstores.
Well,
I'll give him that.
Share some of that
I
generosity
mean,
over
he
here.
literally prints his own money in the form of bookshots and other
Yeah,
things.
that's
but
true.
Anyway, the reason why I said that this was moderately interesting is because this bookshot is launching a new series. So this is the Harriet Blue series, written with Candace Fox, probably written by Candace Fox. if we're
Oh,
being honest.
snap. No, you didn't.
So this is Detective Harriet Blue .5.
Okay.
So the full, looks like a
Oh,
full book
boy.
is coming out here.
James Patterson is giving Marvel Comics a run for their money.
So,
Harriet
no,
Blue
I'm sorry.
0.
No, this
Harriet
is-
Blue Rebirth.
Yeah,
Harriet Blue
Harriet
1.5. Harriet Blue
Okay.
The Beginning.
Harriet Blue is in a book called Never Never, and this book is sort of a window into that world.
Never have I
before the main
ever
book.
enjoyed recording this podcast with you. Now you say something.
That's so rude.
No, now you say never have I ever something in response.
Never have I ever fully paid attention when you talked about Dungeons and Dragons.
Boy.
James Patterson's bookshots, short, fast-paced, high-impact entertainment. You could say the same thing about Danny DeVito.
Yeah, or the Dungeons and Dragons book. Man, why are you like this?
my
You know who
gosh.
you remind me
I
of?
had this nightmare about
You,
Gary
may,
Gygax.
you remind me of Greg Bear's The Antagonist.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
With a name like the antagonist. What if it's like one of those ironic names? How like
Oh.
Mr. Big is really like 3 foot tall,
Sure.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. Maybe the
Yeah.
antagonists are like, hey,
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
Yeah. Maybe they're the protagonists.
Well, you read it and you tell me.
No.
Stories at the Speed of Life. Black and Blue. Harriet Blue. Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Harriet Blue. Book point 5.
Yeah.
A beautiful young woman is found murdered on a riverbank, and Detective Harriet Blue is convinced she's the next victim of the worst serial killer Sydney has seen in decades.
Sydney, Australia?
No.
Oh.
No, you're not paying attention. This is coming out December 6th, so keep an eye out for that.
All right.
This is interesting. I feel like this is maybe a... he has some series that start first in other countries, like Private India was only like in India for a long time.
Right.
Different things. I feel like this is maybe an Australian series because it looks like...
I just asked about Sydney.
Yeah, but it looks like there's UK versions of these that are out already. So it looks
Okay.
like this is a new publication in the US.
I want you to promise me that in the future, when you say something is interesting, that it will not be boring.
I think I prefaced that by saying it wasn't really.
Okay.
I was using it loosely.
All right.
I'm going to stop there.
Okay.
There's more,
Ooh.
but I
Tantalizing.
Yeah.
Keep people wanting, just like Dean Koontz' Frankenstein, Prodigal Son.
Oh, good job.
No problem.
Hey, congratulations going out to Eric's cousin.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
What do you got coming out this very week, Moan?
Yeah, these are the books that are coming out October 18th, 2016.
Now listen, I'm going to take a bite of this molasses cookie, so I don't want you to ask me a question anytime soon.
Okay. Have you read Me Before You by Jojo Moyes? Oh, have you read Me After You? All right. You have no... Oh, go ahead. I'll just read about
No,
this.
I'll answer. Why not?
No, it's fine. Paris for One and Other Stories by Jojo Moyes. It's coming out.
I haven't read Jojo Moyes, if that's what you're going to
It's a collection featuring...
Bookshots? Jojo Moyes Bookshots?
the title novella
Oh.
and 8 other stories.
Okay.
So if you enjoyed those 2 other books, I'm sure you'll enjoy these ones. Let's see.
Wait a minute. What does this calendar say?
This says the 17th.
What is under the 17th?
National Boss Day. Oh,
Where's
happy
my-
National Boss Day, Bruce Springsteen.
No cookie bouquet or anything? Nothing for me. Wow. Okay, go on.
All right. Seduced. A Hannah Smith novel by Randy Wayne White. Have you read anything by
That's kind of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Randy Wayne White?
Yeah, I
Because
hate
you want
it.
to say like Randy Wainwright.
Yeah, it's the worst.
That's how Scooby-Doo would say it.
Yeah.
Randy Wainwright.
Yeah.
Like, settle down, Scoob.
Yeah.
I'm getting my library card out.
Have you read this?
Randy Wainwright?
You haven't read anything by him?
No. Randy
Okay.
Wayne White.
All right. The Christmas Town by Donna Van Leer.
Oh, I've read a lot of Donna Van Leer.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say about her if you had to like summarize her books?
They're inspirational,
Really?
heartwarming tales. She wrote like the Christmas Shoes in that series.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've read her Christmas books.
Wait, doesn't the Christmas Shoes have like a song?
The Christmas Shoes was a song, then it was like adapted into a book, and then a movie
Okay.
with Rob Lowe and Neil Patrick Harris.
All right. But nobody like knows the song anymore.
Yeah, sure.
No.
I want to buy these shoes. When I was in high school, let me tell you, I went to a youth convention in June, and one of the bands that was there, New Song, the one who did that, they were like, we're going to sing our hit. So they sang the Christmas Shoes in June.
Yeah.
And even as a teenager, I was like, this feels desperate.
Yeah.
This is a cry for help.
Yeah. That's a happy song, right?
It's about a kid's mom dying.
But he gets her shoes.
Yeah, he runs out of the house to buy a dying woman's shoes. It's crazy.
The Girl from Venice, Martin Cruz Smith. Are you familiar with this author?
No.
Moving on.
Wait, what was Donna Van Leer writing?
The Christmas Town.
Oh, okay.
A Christmas book.
Okay.
Comes out to October 18th. Just in time.
Exactly what I want to read.
Yeah.
A Christmas book.
So this is kind of funny because we've got there's a nonfiction book here called Einstein's Greatest Mistake, a biography. So it's a book about how
Screw up, kid.
yeah. So we got
I
this,
doing my best mistake.
and then we have this book by Marie Benedict called The Other Einstein. So, what secrets may have lurked in the shadows of Albert Einstein's fame?
I guess you will never know.
In 1896, the extraordinary gifted Maliva Mertz-Marek is the only woman studying physics at the elite school in Zurich. For her, math seems like an easier path than marriage until she falls in love with the fellow student, Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
Charismatic and brilliant, Albert promises to treat her as an equal in both love and science, but as Albert fame grows, is there room for more than one genius in the marriage?
Hey, do you want to watch that Walter Matthau, Meg Ryan,
No,
Tim Robbins
I
movie?
did
IQ?
Christmas, it feels like.
Hey, you want to hear a weird little fact about Albert Einstein?
Sure.
You know that picture of him with him sticking his tongue out?
Uh-huh.
That and the picture of Nixon shaking hands with Elvis are the most requested items from the National Archives.
Huh.
That's all.
Thank you.
Probably facts on who really killed JFK. The CIA.
Is that your opinion? But you just watched 11/22/63.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't go for that lone gunman crap. Come on. Makes no sense.
Yeah. Do you go for the lone gunman in the X-Files?
Sure, yeah, they seem nice.
Yeah, okay.
Fun loving guys.
Let's see. We've got another Christmas book, The 12 Dogs of Christmas, an Andy Carpenter mystery by David Rosenfeld.
Yes.
Are you familiar with
I haven't. No, I know David Rosenfeld. He writes a lot of like dog mysteries. He's very popular.
Well, this cover has a bunch of puppies in Christmas stockings, just hanging from the whatever you call it.
Dean Cain, call your agent.
Oh my
you
gosh,
got a new movie.
Supergirl is getting a new season without me. I better get in this Christmas dog film.
Mm-hmm.
All right. A wealth. Oh, I said a wealth, but it's not. That's not even a word.
Take it again.
A Life Well Played, My Stories by Arnold Palmer. I guess he's a golfer, and this is a story about golf, which, despite how it may look, is a sport.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Arnold Palmer is most famous for mixing lemonade and iced tea.
Is he?
That's called an Arnold Palmer.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No.
Wow. The more you know.
So what do we call when you mix Sprite and fruit punch, and Eric?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I order it at restaurants. So, they know right
so
what
here's
I
a
mean.
book about a real sport. 99 Stories of the Game by Wayne Gretzky. So
For someone admittedly not an athlete or into sports, you're pretty harsh on golf.
yeah,
My dad likes to golf.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Well, this is about a hockey player. He went from a minor hockey phenomenon. Forget it.
I actually did play quite a lot of hockey
Did you?
in my youth. Yeah.
Hockey is so fun to watch live.
Yeah,
it's
it
great.
is.
My
Well, I'm
cousin,
most
who
afraid-
just got married,
Yeah.
is huge
Hey,
into
congrats,
hockey.
Brianna.
And the Bruins.
Okay.
Go Bruins.
Yeah.
So.
When I was a kid, my friend Dan Manson and I went to a K-Wings game back in Kalamazoo, and his dad got hit in the shoulder by a puck. It flew up over the glass, slammed into his shoulder. It didn't break anything, but like his whole left side was bruised. He looked like Two-Face from the
Oh
comic
my
books.
gosh.
Yeah.
The Batman villain.
And Dan
Two-Face.
got to keep the puck. I got nothing.
Sorry, man.
I know.
You got that story.
That's
You're
true.
like a
Yeah.
traveling bard.
I still have that story. Does Dan still have that puck? No, probably
No.
not. Maybe he does.
All right.
Dan, do you still have the puck?
Here, we got some more books coming. Cakewalk by Rita Mae Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I know Rita Mae Brown's name, but she Cozy Mysteries?
Yeah.
They don't have a cover of the book, so I can't.
Cozy as
Yeah.
all get out.
Oh, this is set against the backdrop of America emerging from World War I. That doesn't sound cozy.
I remember those days.
Do you?
No.
Mr. Monkey by Francine Prose. I wanted to bring it up because her last name is Prose and she's writing a book, and that's funny to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's writing prose.
No, I got it.
Prose is you write a book.
Yeah, like professionals.
Sure. Let's see. Is this? No, that's something else.
Okay.
Preston and Child have a new book, The Obsidian Chamber, an Agent Pendergast series.
Yeah.
Are these sci-fi books?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think they're at least somewhat mystical.
All right. Here's Escape Clause, a Virgil Flowers novel. I believe this is the second of the Santa Claus films.
Yeah, the one with Martin Short.
Oh, that's the third one then.
No, wait. You're right. Second
one.
Yeah, no Martin Short.
Martin Short's as Jack Frost in the
Yeah.
third one. Hits him with like a shovel. He's like,
Yeah. That's
all right, Virgil Flowers novel.
I like Virgil Flowers.
This is 9 of 9.
Okay. Is the last book you're saying? Or just the most recent book?
This is the most recent book.
Okay.
All right, we got some young adult
Then
books
your
here.
statement was misleading.
We got Gemini, which is book 2 in the Illuminae files. The first one was probably just called Illuminae, if I remember.
Oh, that one
Yeah.
that's all like weird.
In orange.
Yeah.
Yes. So the sequel's coming out. We got ours.
We got that.
Coming. Let's see. We've got Moon Chosen, Tales of a New World. This is by PC Cass. She wrote the House of Night series, which is still very popular. That's a vampire series, I believe. We've got, we got Tokyo Ghoul Volume 9
Wow.
of manga. This is NIS. This
We'll
is a
never
manga.
see it again.
Yeah.
It'll be checked out
The Tokyo
instantly.
Ghoul. I've read the first 7. And I read them as soon as they're in, and then I have to. And then we've got What Light by Jay Asher. I guess it's a story about love and forgiveness set at Christmas time in Oregon. He wrote the book 13 Reasons Why about the girl who committed suicide and left audio tapes about why she committed suicide.
I see. My sister-in-law read that book.
Yeah.
She liked it. And she just recently discovered the podcast.
Your
She's probably
sister-in-law?
listening to us while cleaning her house. So shout outs to Amanda. You missed
There
the
we go.
spot.
Yeah. Oh, snap. All right, let's get through the New York Times bestsellers list so we can talk about the real man of the
I
hour.
don't like the way you said that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not something to get through. It's a
That's
journey.
true. All right.
You're a Tolkien fan. You
I'm
don't
so-
understand that it's about the journey?
I'm not. I'm a fan of those movies.
Oh, okay.
Let's now people are gonna be mad
You're
at
a
me.
poser. Okay.
Excuse you? All
Sorry,
right.
I'm just being an antagonist.
Sure are.
Let's get back to Saturn.
All right, number 10 on the New York Times bestsellers list for hardcover fiction. New this week at number 10 is Winter Storms by Ellen Hildebrand.
Yeah.
It's the final book of the Winter Street trilogy. A huge snowstorm bearing down on Nantucket threatens the Quinn's family's Christmas after a year of significant events.
Yeah.
Number 9. This one is taking a hit. The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. That's
Yeah, but it's still for a debut and a historical fiction. It's doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's true. Number 8, The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. So basically, a woman, she's on a cruise, she hears a splash,
Right.
she thinks it's a body, no one will believe her, she's a travel agent, she's a travel writer.
And this is the part we usually do a bit where I'm like, I heard something.
No,
And
you
it's like,
didn't, that was the water. No, it was definitely the water.
So it goes on like that.
Yeah.
If you want to hear it, you can go back to previous episodes.
Sure can.
We've done it in the last, how many weeks has it been on?
It has been on here for 12 weeks.
We've done it for the last 12 weeks. So if you
Jeez.
want to hear that.
Yeah. So what do you think that'd be like, though, hearing a body in the water?
I don't know.
And then thinking and
would it be
no one would
discernible
believe you?
from another splash?
Yeah.
hard
All
to
right.
say.
Number 7, new this week. 12 Days of Christmas by the Queen of Christmas, Debbie Macomber.
Why are people? Why?
Why are people buying this?
Why are you buying these? Why are these bestsellers right now? Why are you buying them in October?
Yeah. Well, they want to make sure they have it.
I don't understand.
Locked
Well,
and
I
loaded.
mean, to be fair, stores already have Christmas decorations.
Shut up,
for
shut up.
sale, so it's really early.
All right. Today will be different by Maria Semple. Yeah.
I like her outlook.
Ooh, it's a calamitous day in the life of a cynical Seattle transplant from the author of Where'd You Go, Bernadette. Seattle. Speaking of, I've been watching a lot of the early seasons of Frasier.
Oh, set in Seattle.
Yep, sure is.
Hey,
Yep.
I like Starbucks. From Seattle. They're from
Oh,
Seattle.
okay. Number 5, after 3 weeks on this list, Home by Harlan Coben. Number 4, Woman of God by James Patterson and Maxine Pietro.
Lady Pope.
Yes, the Lady Pope book. Number 3, Commonwealth by Ann Patchett.
Yeah.
Man, I can just say Patchett like no
I know,
problem.
Boy.
So, number 2, new this week, The Trespasser.
Ooh.
In the 6th Dublin Murder Squad novel, Detective Antoinette Conway confronts a case that is more complicated than it appears. Man. And number 1, new this week, 2 by 2 by Nicholas Sparks. A man who becomes a single father when his marriage and business collapse,
Wow.
learns to take a chance on a new love.
Good for him. That is so brave.
No, we talked about this.
Marriage collapse. He's gonna go out there.
No, we talked about this.
What?
It's brave when women do it too.
I didn't say anything about women.
I know you
That's
didn't.
brave
That's
for
the
him.
problem.
Oh, so it's less brave because he's a man?
No, I'm just saying we always make a big deal about like men who are single fathers, but
see.
like single mothers are out there
Shout
in
out
droves.
to single moms.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it is boss day after
Ring
all.
that bell. That's right.
And who's more of a boss than a
Yeah.
single mom?
Can I tell you, I was going to do a Bruce Springsteen thing.
Yeah.
But I caught myself just before I started singing Neil Diamond's "You're Coming to America"
Jeez.
rather than "Born in the USA."
Wow.
that would have been awful.
That would have been
so
embarrassing.
we dodged
yeah.
a bullet.
So.
We dodged a bullet. there.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
that was my Bruce Springsteen
Oh
impression.
my gosh! I thought you swallowed your tongue. That was so scary.
That's-
We have the new Bruce Springsteen CD and the book, folks. So if you're interested in
Yeah,
either of those,
I almost picked that up to buy, but then I was like, wait a
know.
second, I'll just go to my local library.
That's kind of the tragedy about working in a library.
Yeah.
I have trouble making myself buy like brand new books, even though I want them.
No. Yeah.
But I don't reread them. I lend them to people sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't want them to screw up my covers. So.
Sure, yeah, they're the worst.
You
Yeah,
know.
you give me even you'll give me your comic books without the covers.
True.
Like somehow I'm your most untrustworthy friend with comic
There's
books.
many people I trust less than you. So every
So,
year, except
The Nobel
for...
Peace Prize for Literature.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, thanks for throwing off my groove. The Nobel Prize in Literature was first given out in 1901. The very first winner, a name that's really become a household name, I think. I know Eric has several of his books. Mr. Sully Prudhomme of France.
Sure, yeah.
So, you know, I love to get a mug of tea and just curl up with a little book by Sully P. But anyway, so it's been every year since 1901 with some exceptions. There are years when they opt not to give out the prizes. But for most years, we've had people.
Yeah.
winning things.
Yeah. So for the
it's a spread of all over. There are a total of 113 Nobel laureates. The most the country with the most wins is France, obviously 16 wins.
Of course.
Next, the United States with 11, then the UK with 10.
I'm gonna drunk dial
Germany,
France.
Sweden
Like,
with
you
8,
think you're
so
better
a
than
lot
us?
more. This year, it's turning some heads.
Sure.
And to be fair, the Nobel Prizes have taken a little heat in recent years for various political accusations and saying they have an agenda and things. So whatever. But this year I don't know if I would say it's stirred up controversy.
This is the first time I've ever even heard of the Nobel Prize in Literature.
But it's definitely a discussion that's ensued.
Yeah.
The Nobel laureate for 2016 Nobel Prize in Literature, Mr. Bob Dylan. The first American to win the Nobel Prize since, I want to say, Toni Morrison, which was a long time ago.
Now that he won the Nobel Peace Prize
Yeah.
in Literature, I'm going to see. I was trying to see how many times I could say Nobel Peace Prize in Literature until you corrected me.
Oh.
Because it's not the Nobel Peace Prize.
No, it's not.
So
no, I'm sorry.
That crashed and burned.
Yeah, it did.
Like the Hindenburg.
It did. Yeah, too soon. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the
it's the
Nobel
Hindenburg.
Prize. So, when it first came out, I was trying to think, like, if I've been aware, like you said, before this, like the Nobel Prize comes out, and it seems like it only sticks in my head when it's something that people are like, wait, what? Mm-hmm. Like when President Obama was awarded the Peace Prize, like before he really started in office, and everybody was like, but he hasn't really started yet.
Yeah.
So it seems like that's the only...
Careful, your political colors are showing.
No.
Just kidding.
I'm saying that turned heads just like this. And so I guess, as we discussed with other awards, sometimes these literary awards, they don't really translate into people being aware of the things. Now, the Nobel Prize is different than a lot of others because usually these kind of literature prizes are awarded for a specific book. And that really hasn't been the rubric that Nobel uses. Typically, it's to sort of a body of work. Mm-hmm. And there's occasionally they'll say, like this is a good example of that, but
it's true, especially for this one. It says that it's for the work refers to an author's work as a whole, not for just like one book,
right?
Or in this case, album, or in this case, song.
Yeah. So here's the Alfred Nobel statement that guides the Nobel Prize.
Yeah, it's not very descriptive.
It isn't. The said interest shall be divided into 5 equal parts, which shall be apportioned as follows: 1 part to the person, ... other ones.
Yeah.
1 part to the person who shall have produced in the field of literature the most outstanding work in an ideal direction.
Yeah, no wonder they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, so it is pretty vague. It's true.
And like that's the only thing I could find to describe what you pick.
Yeah.
There's no real type of fiction. They have no guidelines.
Yeah.
So here you go, and now we got Bobby Dylan.
Well,
Nobel Prize
to
winner.
be fair, the winners it ranges from everything. It's not like it's just a fiction prize. Sometimes it's essays, short stories, histories, memoirs, novels, traditional things, poetry. Though I do think, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember ever seeing one that listed songwriting before.
Yeah.
As a reason, I think that's probably new. But different things, screenplays, stage plays. There's a lot of different things. So it's not as narrow as you might think when you hear Nobel Prize in Literature. It is relatively open.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about people who agree or don't agree first?
Honestly, I would like to hear what you think about it, because let me tell you, for me,
all right, I want to make fun of this author.
Okay, well,
now it's fine.
We'll still have time to make fun of plenty of people. Well, for me, I'm not a Bob Dylan fan. I'm not invested in Bob Dylan. So it's not like I hear this and I'm like, yes, because of all the things I love about Bob Dylan. So my reaction was just, it seems like a big departure from the thing that they normally do.
Right.
And is that fair? Does it make sense to do that? So
somebody pointed out, here's something. Somebody pointed out that Shakespeare did not publish his works. I saw this online. I can't remember where. I'm on the New York Times I'm on the New York Times right now looking at one. And I can't remember if they're the ones who mentioned it. But yeah, someone pointed out, maybe it was even the Rolling Stone magazine, but Shakespeare didn't publish his work. He just, performed them and then moved on to the thing. But we still count Shakespeare as literature. But it wasn't at first. It was, low art in a way, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So just bringing that up.
Right.
Because people would say these aren't poems because they weren't, written down and then published as that. And even Dylan changes the words of his song when he's performing them because he's like, this word is going to be better. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as a longtime Bob Dylan fan,
not as long as I like to be. I think I got into Dylan what year is it? 2016? 2011.
Okay.
I mean, before I had a few
5
songs.
years on me, sport.
Okay. What do I think? I like it.
Okay.
I think it's good. But I always kind of view music and lyrics as poetry I actually enjoy.
Okay.
So, and I think he's a good choice. I was trying to think of who else would fit in this category in the world of music, and like, it's hard to think of somebody else besides Bob Dylan because his, when you think about what's the thing again? It's songs that, or not songs. Man, they're going to be unhappy if they hear that.
Going in an ideal direction.
In an ideal direction. Yeah. I mean, he used his music to try to push, ideal directions. Blowing in the Wind was there's an article called 8 Songs That Show Why Bob Dylan Won the Nobel Prize for Literature. Mm-hmm. This is the Indian Express, which I never heard of until this, but Blowing in the Wind was used for the civil rights movement a lot. So you have that. You have protest songs. You have songs that are actually telling stories, like a Rolling Stone, or one we just listened to. Don't Think Twice. It's all right, I think.
Okay.
So,
all right.
It's good.
Okay.
I mean, the song "The Hurricane." Are you familiar with that one? Here's the story of the hurricane.
I probably, if I heard it.
The man the authorities tried to blame for something that he never done. Put in a jail cell for one time.
You're following a melody line, so I don't recognize it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You got a chip on your shoulder about Bob.
No.
Hurricane. It's about the. It was written about the imprisonment of Reuben Hurricane Carter, who was a boxer, and Bob Dylan believed that he had been profiled because of it was racial profiled and was falsely accused and everything. Mm-hmm. So he writes this 8-minute song about the hurricane. It's a great song, and Carter did get all the charges dismissed in 1985 or 1988. I'm sorry. So
interesting.
I mean, he made a point there. Also, Desolation Row, in my mind, is poetry.
Okay.
So, and that's 11 minutes.
Well, it seems like a lot of the talk is positive. I know we put it out to our listeners, and we got Facebook user Ashley says well deserved. And she that seems to be a pretty consistent, at least with people who responded to us.
Joyce Carol Oates gave it the thumbs up.
She did. Actually, I thought she had a really interesting thing to say about it. She said, good about Nobel Prize for Bob Dylan, but also good that Yeats, Faulkner, Beckett did not have to compete with Berlin, Porter, Rodgers, and Hart. And I think that's an interesting comparison to make, because I think before this, that sort of thing would never have been considered. So that's where it seems like kind of a stretch. It seems to me like a situation where you create a special award, like the Emmys or the Tonys or whatever often do that.
Well,
it's like a honorary.
I honestly can't think. The only other person I thought that might someday be able to win this, Nobel Prize in literature for music is Bruce Springsteen. Mm-hmm. He's the only other person I could think of because his songs are also very narrative and story driven. A lot of them are about, 41 Shots is about, I can't remember the name of the man who was shot reaching for his wallet, but was shot 41 times by the police. He's got songs protesting racism and class warfare, and the Rising album is about 9/11, or at least most of it. So I feel like it's not opening the door. It's not going to be like a flood of art. Like, I don't see the Rolling Stones, winning this. Rush isn't going to win this. Led Zeppelin's not going to win it. I don't know how many musical artists like Bob Dylan and Springsteen who are singing those kind of songs that the world's producing right now.
I guess it just seems like it's a weird. I don't know. I mean, I guess are we saying that music is literature? I don't know that I would agree with that across the board. And it seems like there are already ways to honor and appreciate music without taking it away from the world of literature. It seems like an odd pull to me to reach out beyond that. I mean, I feel like it's saying well, Aaron Sorkin's writing is really musical, so let's give him a Grammy. That doesn't make any sense to me.
But then we start asking Netflix original shows, do they get to win Emmys? Because it's for TV, but they're not on TV. They're streamed. The only way they're on TV is you're streaming them on your television.
Right.
Same thing for Hulu originals or Amazon originals. and Netflix series do win. House of Cards has won multiple Emmys. So I think Orange is the New Black has, but I know Transparent has, and that's on Amazon. Do those still get to win for television? If Netflix does a movie, like an original Netflix movie, and 2 hours movie, and it's really big, the Oscars aren't going to acknowledge it, but most people know the Oscars are elitist and never picking, things that maybe should be picked. So I don't know. I mean, their music is poetry. When you put the words down in a book of lyrics without the music, it reads like poetry.
Yeah.
I guess I hate poetry normally. And so
well, when I look at the list of like past winners, it doesn't. I mean, there's names that I recognize. Alice Munro, Toni Morrison, a lot of playwrights. Eugene O'Neill, that Harold Pinter's, a lot of things that that stand out to me. But it's not. This isn't something that's like setting trends, I don't think. But I don't really think that that's the goal either. And I guess I just feel someone like Bob Dylan, who's sort of universally acclaimed and has tons of accolades and respect and attention. Like, do we really need to take a literature prize and give it to somebody in another field? Because you can make the argument that technically his songwriting is poetry.
Right.
I guess I just don't see the need for it. I'm not saying Bob Dylan doesn't deserve awards or accolades. I just don't know that, we need to give him, are we going to give him the Stanley Cup? You know what I mean? I feel like there's specific things that apply to, his talent and his skills.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that this really counts or should count. I mean, it does, so there's nothing we can do about it. But, that was that's been my gut reaction to, nothing against Bob Dylan. I'm not trying to take away anything from Bob Dylan. It just seems like a crossover that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So, I don't know.
Well, you're in some company with Jodi Picoult.
Oh, really?
She did. I'm happy for Bob Dylan, #, but does this mean I can win a Grammy? No, Jodi Picoult, because you can't write a freaking Wonder Woman story correctly. No way am I going to assume that you can write an album. See, that's the difference, though. This is what we're arguing. Jodi Picoult can write a book, but she can't write music for it. So that's why she's not going to win a Grammy. Bob Dylan can write, and then he adds music to it, or he, writes it with the music. If you take away the music, you have poetry. If you, with Jodi, she's not there. Who is this person? Oh, man. Bob Dylan winning a Nobel Prize, a Nobel in literature is like Mrs. Fields being awarded 3 Michelin stars. The novelist Rabbi Alameddine wrote this on Twitter. He says, this is almost as silly as Winston Churchill. 2 things. 1, hey, Rabbi, I had to look you up on Google. So, 2, we're now trashing Winston Churchill's speeches for winning the literature. Because he won. He also won the prize for literature. What do you think about that?
I only came across that when I was looking up other things.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it seems atypical, but it wasn't. I mean, he has books. I mean, he has essays and memoirs and things that are real clear. Yeah. So he's not a novelist. He's not a philosopher or something like that. So it's an atypical choice. So I get that. But it is still writing. I don't know. I guess it blurs a weird line for me, and it seems unnecessary
for me
to do it.
When I listen to a Bob Dylan song, and maybe it's because of the way he sings, it's not one of those. When I listen to a Bob Dylan song, it's not a song where I just listen to the music and I'm not paying attention to the lyrics. I feel like every time I listen to a Dylan song, the lyrics are front and center. But you know what? You and I, we're not going to solve this problem today.
No.
Also, Bob Dylan's not returning the Nobel Prize's calls.
No.
I just read that online as well. Please accept this award. He's just not there.
That's fine.
However, if you are interested in reading Bob Dylan's songs without music, they are publishing a new book. It's called The Lyrics. 1961 to 2012 by Bob Dylan. So it's a comprehensive volume of Dylan's lyrics from beginning of his career to the present day. With some edits to dozens of songs appearing here for the first time. This is coming out November 1st, so probably somebody jumped on it as soon as
Yeah.
we're putting on a thing.
Well, he was on the short list, so they
Yeah.
had a little bit of time. But see, that's another thing. If the lyrics had been like published over the last 40 years, if that would have been a thing, like collected lyrics of Bob Dylan's regularly, then I feel like it would be an easier argument to make. It just seems, I don't know. But let me read a few more listener responses.
Sure.
Facebook user Marta says he deserves it. I don't think we got any negative. We got one question. Facebook user Gerald said, "Was it meaningful and lasting? The music was added."
Right.
So I think there are. Didn't you have a couple more?
Yeah, somebody said, let's see, we have Kendra on Facebook. She says, I love that he won. Lyrics are poetry and take thought and insight to create. Well, Bob Dylan's anyway. And then she says, I mean, Hurricane is basically an epic poem. Hurricane. He is a storyteller and he expresses that through his songs. And we also have Virginia on Facebook, and she says, it was a surprise, but he has written several really classic songs that are part of the American culture. I think it is a great choice. He also has a book, I believe it's called Chronicle, that is considered to be one of the best autobiographies, music insight books ever written.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I guess, I mean,
but that was before Springsteen's Born to Run.
I think the strongest argument for me is that, I don't know, you have things like people have been put up for things like screenplays and stage plays and stuff, which is, I mean, I feel like that's a little bit, especially stage plays for me anyway, are easier to accept as like a form of literature.
Yeah.
But when you think about stage plays, screenplays, songwriting, they do sort of fit the same.
I guess here's the thing. I could take any poem that's written, get up on stage, not me, because then I can't do it, but with an acoustic guitar and play music to it and read the poem. The poem's still literature.
Interesting.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Well, let me hit you up with some of the...
Hit me up.
Yeah. Let me tell you some of the... as we mentioned, Bob Dylan was the first American to win this prize since...
Sure.
Let me see if I can find the year. 1993. So quite a while. So here are some of the other United States...
Winners?
Nobel laureates. Sinclair Lewis won in 1930. Eugene O'Neill, 1936. Pearl S. Buck, 1938. William Faulkner, 1949. Ernest Hemingway, 1954. John Steinbeck, 1962, which was also controversy. A lot of people didn't think he deserved that. Saul Bellow, 1976. Isaac Bashevis Singer, 1978. Joseph Brodsky, 1987. Toni Morrison, 93. Bob Dylan, 2016. So the U.S. is represented pretty well, considering we're the second country with the second highest number.
There you go.
So we were tied with the UK. Bob Dylan pushed us over the edge.
All right.
So just another
Thanks,
mark.
Bobby.
Yeah.
There was something else I was going to say about Bob Dylan. No, but I was serious about Springsteen. I think with, this proving that it can happen, that I wouldn't be surprised if he could win it anyway.
Well, that seems crazy to me, but I don't know Springsteen well enough to
Really?
respond to that. Yeah.
Wow. Springsteen fans, tell Nick how not crazy that is. Springsteen is basically, when it comes to that kind of storytelling, like the next Bob Dylan, of terms of like using his music to tell stories and, shine a light on some things people don't pay attention to.
Okay.
So, there you go.
Weird.
Really?
I mean,
Well,
I've
you
just
haven't listened to
never-
a lot of Springsteen's earlier
No, I've just
stuff.
never heard that kind of thing. I've
Something
never
like
heard
Jungle Land,
Springsteen,
something. Well, the Ghost of Tom
like, raised
Joad.
up like that. Tom Jones?
No, Tom Joad.
It's not on you. Oh,
No.
I get it now. Okay, well, we have a lot of the Nobel Prize represented here in our collection. So if you're curious about
Oh, I thought you meant like we got the Nobel Prize committee.
yeah,
just
they're right
hanging out
here. Folks, come on.
Yeah. Why
but-
did you say such mean things?
If you want to dig into past Nobel Prize winners, stop in
Yeah.
because we've got a lot of representation here.
You
So
know,
you can check that out.
speaking of Bob Dylan and his songs for the civil rights, Roger, our senior intern,
yeah.
was at the civil rights movements. He was at some of the marches.
Really?
I don't think I should say which side.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there's
Well-
a darkness. There's a darkness
All right.
with him. Whew. Well, let's talk about library news. What do we got? And remember, we chose a few of the reader responses here, but if you ever
Yeah.
want to contribute to all the books, have us
Show.
read your your thoughts and statements, you can always find us on Facebook at David A. Howe Public Library. We have our own Twitter at All the Books Show.
You know what we also have? We have all the songs.
No.
But yes, we do. Bob Dylan's All the Songs.
Oh.
The book.
In our collection.
Yes. It's
Okay.
a massive book. Probably, would you say bigger or the same size as that Beatles one?
I haven't seen it. Oh, no. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
It is giant. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's huge. It's a massive book. It just
history
has
of the songs,
the
yes.
history of each and every one of Bob Dylan's songs.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area or you're near a library, we recommend checking out that book because it goes through every single song, through every album.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the Beatles one is called Hard Day's Right.
that's right. Yes.
And that's pretty good.
Okay.
Anyway, you can find us on Twitter at All the Book Show. We love to hear from you.
Yep.
Remember, we're talking Halloween next week, so send us your thoughts. If you want to listen to last year's Halloween episode to get some jump start on reading, you can find that on SoundCloud / All the Books or on iTunes or YouTube. That's episode 7, Halloween Now. We also did a Stephen King spotlight last year.
We did a Lonely Hearts Book Club with the Wolfen.
On the Wolfen. So those are episodes 7, 8, and 9. So if you want to dive back into
A
the
trilogy of terror.
past, I like it.
Thank you.
That was very good. Yeah. Well, let's talk library news. I already mentioned Alexander McCall
that's
Smith
true.
coming up on the 20th.
Anime Club every Wednesday at 5:30 for teen students ages 12 to 18. Tuesdays are after school card club from 3 to 5. Same
Bat time.
same bat time.
Same bat channel.
Bat channel.
Okay. Great.
What else do we got going on?
Well, we got our big Halloween week coming up.
Oh, that's right. We're showing those movies.
We're showing 4 days in a row. We're showing classic Universal monster movies. On the 25th, we're doing a special matinee. So if you don't want to come to one of the late shows, you can come at 2:00 on the 25th. We'll be showing
The Invisible Man.
Yep, and then
Wait till you see him.
no, he's invisible.
That's the
invisible.
That's the
And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of that week. So October 26th,
Saturday.
28th.
What a day. Waiting all week with you. Oh, I dropped my mic.
At 7:00 each night. So the 26th, we're showing Wolfman. 27th, we're showing The Mummy. 28th, we're doing a special double feature with Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. Those are all at 7:00. Followed up on Saturday, the 29th, we're doing a Halloween party for kids, followed by a special showing of Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King at 11:30.
And again, this Wolfman and Mummy, these are the old black and white classics ones, not to be confused with Benicio del Toro and Brendan Fraser. Though I'm sure Brendan Fraser would love to be confused with anybody.
He probably would.
Like, wait, was that Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Oh, they're...
You can always join us for a book club. We had an influx of people last time, which was fun. Book club meets in my office, so you can see where all the books magic happens.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, right now we're finishing up Emma with Alexander McCall Smith, moving on to A Patchwork Planet by Ann Tyler. We'll meet for that one mid-November, so you have plenty of time. Winding down on Frankenstein by Dean Koontz. That meets right after Halloween, November 2nd, 3:30. And then following that, we'll begin In the Bleak Midwinter by Julia Spencer Fleming.
Okay.
So those are our
luckily, with the way the calendar works, we still have 2 more podcasts in October. I thought we were in November a lot sooner.
Not
but
yet.
We'll be recording and releasing one on the day of
Halloween.
Yeah. We'll probably talk about Christmas books.
All right, send us your favorite Halloween books, your favorite Halloween movies, and tune in next week when we have the Queen of Halloween, Sally Murphy, in the house with us. Thanks for listening.